The pilot that we started out with last year is a way for buyers and sellers to come together, leverage proprietary data to be able to plan, forecast, and transact across premium video content. So the way we do that is through something called a data escrow that enables buyers to bring that data to the table in a blind fashion, so the publishers don't see it. But the publishers are then able to transact against, or rather forecast against, that data, again in a blind fashion, so that then they can have a direct conversation and a negotiation. So what we're doing with Videology is announcing their integration into this solution, which brings a lot more demand to the table within their position as a very high, a very important buy-side technology, especially within the planned media space. So we see that as very important, especially with the upfront season coming up. This becomes part of the upfront conversation for folks to be able to transact in this planned and guaranteed fashion.
What kind of media can be bought through this alliance?
So today it's digital. So we think of all of the different screens and devices that across the digital landscape. In the future, we'll obviously look to leverage VOD and set-top box inventory as well as linear, but today it's digital. So the content is mostly programmer inventory, so think of the largest broadcasters and cable networks that we work with, that FreeWheel works with as our customer base. And as I say, it's digital inventory, so it's mostly desktop inventory, but as I said, we'll be increasing our footprint across mobile, tablet, and over-the-top devices. What we've seen from our video monetization report is we see a very large increase in the amount of live programming and live consumption across that ecosystem, as well as on-demand being a very big part of that. But today, that's again solely within the digital footprint. So we recently completed our video monetization report for Q4 and the whole year for 2014. We saw a massive increase in total ad views of 30% over the course of the year. So we saw 125 billion ad views. So that gives us a really good insights into how the industry is shaping up. Part of that is live viewing. So you touched on that before. We saw live viewing going up by 300% year on year. So obviously a lot of tentpole events, but a lot of events that our customers are able to now monetize through the digital footprint. We saw authentication rates rising quite considerably, so that they were up by 600% year on year. And that manifests itself not only in that live viewing, but also that first run episode content as well. So we saw 67% increase in first run episodes through our platform. So that all kind of leads to this idea of on demand, and the idea that consumers are watching what they want to watch, when they want to watch, how they want to watch it. Another really interesting statistic that I think has really interesting implications for the industry was 64% of those first run episodes were actually consumed a week after the original program air date. So that gives pause for thought around measurement and how we get measurement to work not only within these new screens and devices, but to make sure that that content is getting the true value represented within the currencies. Well, I think what TV Everywhere obviously creates is an opportunity for programmers to put more and more content behind that authentication wall without fear of it cannibalizing their linear efforts. And then obviously that creates additional monetization opportunities. There's data elements to that as well, which you could leverage down the line. So I think just in general, it means better content in more places for the consumer to be able to get to, and then better opportunities for advertisers to reach those audiences across that entire landscape.